welcome everybody. My name is Murray Allen, certified credit consultant. And we're here once again to introduce Sisters Deserve the Credit. Why? Because they simply do. Okay? I'm your host, and I'm streaming live stream live at the El Batista Cafe in El Barrio, actually. Batista Cafe, the owner is Mr. Emmanuel, just a gracious gentleman who's obviously used his venue to do some incredible interviews for some incredible women, particularly African American women who are leading the charge in business entrepreneurship. Again, this is Sisters Deserve Their Credit. We definitely want to give honor and respect to the women of color who are leading the charge, as I mentioned at the beginning, and an estimate of 5.8 million businesses yearly and growing. Okay? As a matter of fact, in the United States, we read some statistics that says in the United States, and astonishing 17% of black women are in the process of starting and running a new business. That's compared to just 10% of white women and 15% of white males. And previous research also found that 61% of black women self-fund their businesses in total capital. In other words, they're using their money to actually fund their business, okay, which is another astonishing thing. So we're excited here. A special guest, entrepreneur extraordinaire. We call her a mompreneur because she's a mom, okay? And so we're excited again being here to present her at Sisters Deserve the Credit. It's something that we give to the sisters because we respect and honor their business prowess of being entrepreneurs. But before we get into introducing her, I'd like to kind of preference a number of African American women in history who some have never heard of before. As a matter of fact, we spoke last time at Sisters Deserve the Credit about Madam C.J. Walker. We spoke about her, give a little history and lineage about her, the fact that she's the first African American female millionaire in America. Okay? African American female entrepreneur in America during the time where they had the Depression. How about that? Okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk historically about another entrepreneur that most people have never heard of. And this is why I think it's so important to talk about these women who've done some astonishing things in the businesses and back in the days. Okay, this is like years and years ago. Okay, so there's a woman by the name of Miriam Benjamin. She's born in 1861. She was a Washington, D.C. high school teacher and in her profession, but she was also an inventor. Okay, and she actually was able to patent. Matter of fact, she was the second African American woman who created a patent in America. Okay, that's something that's very historical. And the patent was given to her in 1888. She got her patent. Okay, now listen to this very interesting patent that she created, an invention. It's called the gong and signal chair for hotels. Okay. The gong and signal chairs for hotels, okay? It was originally used to call a waitstaff over to the chair who were requesting, in hotels primarily. It added a convenience and comfort of guests and obviates the necessity of not hand clapping or calling out, okay, to get assistance in the traditional sense. And so what happened is the fact that this invention was very, very popular. And it was also later on adapted on commercial airplane flights. Okay, they used it like that up until this day because of Miriam Benjamin. So hats off to her, and we really appreciate her invention. And it's just to give you guys a little insight in terms of, women entrepreneurs have been around for a long time. Okay, and so they have always been doing their thing. Now, to introduce a very, very special lady. She has been an entrepreneur for many, many years, highly respected in the business profession that she's in. The name of her company is called Saphire, Bartender, and Waitstaff. Okay, she's worked with a lot of very notable celebrities, which we don't have to mention their names, but trust me when I tell you that. She's been very sought after in the business. She works all over the place just about. She's very well respected, a very good person, extremely altruistic, and she takes her profession very, 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 very seriously. So we want to honor her today and respect her for what she's done and what she's continuously still doing. Okay, hats off to you, Miss Marie Pastor, for doing a phenomenal job. I'd like to welcome you to Sisters Deserve the Credit. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Mr. Murray. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here with you.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have the platform to speak about so many things, a multitude of things, which you do all the time. So I do appreciate you very much for honoring the sisters in business.
Thank you so much. It's sorely needed. Man, we're not trying to say that you're not doing your thing, but we are doing our thing. But we have to give hats off to the ladies for leading the charge of entrepreneurship in America. Now, don't sleep on the brothers, okay?
No,
on
not,
your
absolutely
we're gonna
not.
definitely be up and running next to you guys. But you guys are very passionate and you're very focused. And from what I understand, you know, maybe some of the times, or most of the times, I think that when women, their own personal professions, leave their corporate jobs or other jobs, work with other companies, one of the reasons why they break away is because they feel that they're being sort of like not really respected in the corporate field, you know, as women, and particularly African American women. You know, there's a lot of pressure involved in it, and also I think you would rather have more time and freedom having your own business. And we're not saying that working a job is not a good thing. It's a nonprofit. It's very secure. You get paid paycheck every day. But what we want people to think about is consider, if you will, consider maybe branching off and having your own business for your own love and passion that you've always had for yourself to make a difference in what you want in terms of your goals and aspirations as being an entrepreneur. Now, with that being said, again, the founder of Saphire, Waitstaff, Bartender and Waitstaff, I just want to start off with asking you a couple of questions, okay? All right, and again, we appreciate you being here. All right, first thing I'd like you to do is tell us a little bit about Saphire, Bartender and Waitstaff. Give us a little bird's eye view of what this company is about now. Actually got started.
Okay, well, Sapphire's Bartender and Waitstaff Corporation. We started from humble beginnings, and it all came into fruition as me being having a side job besides my primary job as a bartender. And I saw that there was some things that was missing from the industry, you know, in the hospitality industry. So that was when I developed my mindset to begin to build a business. So presently, we're minority owned, waitstaffing and bartending service. We provide service for all occasions. We have certified bartenders, we have food handlers, we have waitstaff and food handler certification, and we work with a group of professionals, caterers, chefs, rental furniture. You know, we try to have services for the client, like a one-stop shop, you know, so we can help assist and also give them that memorable moment so they don't have to run around everywhere. So we try to add as many other services as possible.
Okay.
And presently I'm in the tri-state New York City area, and we are branching out. And basically we want to bring back elegance to the hospitality.
Like back in the day.
Back in the day.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that because my mom was a waitress many, many years ago. And sometimes, we'll go out to breakfast or to a dinner, and she looks at the waitresses or the attendants, and she says, you know what? When I was growing up as a waitress, we didn't do that, we didn't do this, and we didn't do that. I said, Mom, that's a long time. I'm sure it doesn't matter. You know, you have to have, elegance, class, respect, and you have to be able to carry yourself accordingly. You know, it doesn't matter if you work for McDonald's or whatever, always carry this. And I think one of the things that's missing, which I know that what you do, is the training. People, I believe, need to be trained not just trained, but trained properly.
Trained properly on how to have interaction with customers, interaction with clients, and how to present yourself in a way of class. You know, how you speak, how you serve, you know, how you work with others.
Yes.
We got away from that over some time, and I want to be forefront in that, because we move in excellence, and that's my motto. We move in excellence.
I love that.
You know,
it's really good. You know, as a matter of fact, I would actually say this. My second question almost leads into what you just mentioned. You know, I was going to ask you what sets you apart from any other, you know, waitress, staff. And I think you hit a couple of key points. Is there anything else you would say that?
Well, I think our commitment to excellence. I keep saying excellence because excellence is overall explanation of it encompasses everything that you should want when you go to hire a company for your event, because you want to have memorable moments.
Yes.
And if they move in excellence, that's something that will definitely give you a successful event.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So with that being said, our philosophy in any preparation for any event is that I have the proper staff for each event. Each one is trained differently for different events, whether it's a corporate event, whether it's a wedding, whatever the case may be, we pick the right staff for the event. If it's an event where there's traditions or customs, we make sure we have the staff that will be, like all will be sensitive, but we have special ones that are specially trained for that, that will respect certain customs and will proceed in a way professionally,
Yes.
in a way where the client will know that we respect you.
That is awesome.
And a winning attitude always wins. So our team, I always tell them, you know, listen, if you're having a bad day, let me know.
Yeah.
Because you ain't working today.
Because you don't want it to spill out into the...
No, we don't want no energy.
cost of
Everybody's
being out
human.
there.
But at the end of the day, we want to have a winning attitude. And I want my people to be properly trained, which they are for the event. And basically, we want motivation.
Nice.
We on the stage, we performing, we want to give our best performance. You said yes, we said the rest. We did the rest. So let's move in excellence.
Sounds like a good slogan. I like that slogan, you know. And that's wonderful. And so, again, that really, as you mentioned, it sets you apart from the maybe average, everyday, you know, bartending, wait staff, or anything else that has to do with hospitality.
Right, hospitality.
Certainly has to be a special way in which you do things that allows people to come back to you, and that's why you've been so successful, because of your passion, your love for what you do, and you treat your staff very, very well.
Family.
Yeah.
I treat them like family. I could have just, you know, we may not know each other that long, some of the new staff,
Yes.
but we family. Because
Nice.
we gonna move in unison as a team,
Yes.
a well-oiled machine.
Yes.
That's the only way we can be successful. We have to all be on one accord.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, that's great. Well, let me ask you another question. During the pandemic, and all praises to God for those who are going through some trials and tribulations, who have and are currently doing right now, God be glory and protect them and guide them effectively, and also giving thanks for us to be here.
Amen.
Wake up every morning to be in existence in this world that we're living right now, and so we can do good for others, of course. But we're giving thanks for that.
Amen.
So how have you been able to manage the pandemic?
Well, in the beginning of the pandemic, I'm going to be quite honest with you, Mr. Murray. It was uncharted waters, and not just myself, but I believe most companies went through some stuff. It wasn't easy getting any funding Actually, I didn't get any funding, but I still had to have the mentality to still sustain my business. So with the encouragement from other business owners and in the same plight that I was in, and just people who want to support, I knew that I had to do something to pivot my business, to keep it sustaining. And it was very difficult during those times. And what I did was, I said, wow, you know, let me reach out to my old clients. Let me just let them know that I'm here for you. And I know that they have had to cancel events and lose money. I said, so let me maybe try to give them a little hope. So what I did was I reached out to all my clients, past and potential present, and I just gave them an ear and I listened to them. And now some of them was like, I really, after everything is over, I want to still have my event, but I don't know if I'll be able to afford this and I'll be able to do that. So what I did was I set up a consulting with customers, and I helped them navigate through whatever issues they were having. And I said to them, if you can't hire a company such as myself, how about if I just tell you how to do it yourself?
Kind of mentor them in a sense.
Yeah, how you can do it yourself, and I can manage. Or, you know, if you want to hire just specific parts of the business. So I kind of like worked through that, and that brought in some funding.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then after everything was said and done and they opened up again, the same clients that I had spoke to, they were encouraged to call me and said, hey, can we kind of like now put that plan into place?
That's wonderful.
You know, because they ready to like, oh, well, I'm not going to have my event now. So we were able to navigate that way. So I basically was an ear to people just to kind of see where they were at and to encourage them. And I just felt that was a part of something I should do in the business.
That's just the nature of who you are as a person. Although your business kind of stagnated for a little while, you actually came up with an idea to help other people to try to empower them and get their spirits up, and also mentor them in a direction where they probably felt there's no way out, which is really the definition of entrepreneurship, is finding an answer or finding a way to circumvent situations and have an answer for it. And with that, we really respect you and what you do, because I don't think most people really think that way. Say, hey, you know what? Let me reach out. Let me see if I can get some consultation to those who are in the quagmire of thinking bad about their situation right now and how they're going to get out of it. So we appreciate you for doing that. You know, that's your nature. That's just the way you do things. The other question I have for you is this.
Well, let me just add. Ultimately, those clients called me to do their job, to work an event for them, or hired me for an event. You know, because they found a way to get around the uncharted waters of COVID-19.
Nice.
Because they were impacted as well.
Wow.
So.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I have another question for you. In terms of, you mentioned a little bit about funding. You know, I'm a certified credit consultant. I do a lot of credit education workshops, and I help people improve their credit score and so on and so forth. So I'm in the realm of personal and business credit. And again, I want to thank for those who are watching to be a part of our Sisters Deserve the Credit. Big up to Blackstream Live, brother Ali, who has actually been able to allow us to use this platform of streaming to really help build and motivate and instill abilities that entrepreneurs such as ourselves can go virtual and do the business regardless of the circumstances and situations. So hats up to Blackstream Live.
That's right.
All right, so I want to ask you something. Would you agree that credit plays a major role in helping to build capital, you know, whether it's a loan or whether it's credit cards? Some people say that, obviously, having money is not everything, but it's up there with oxygen, as Les Brothers mentioned before. In a business that needs capital to be able to help sustain itself, would you agree that credit plays a sort of a major role in some aspects of trying to build your business?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is a major role because at the end of the day, you know, as you're developing business credit, if you don't have any, as you're developing business credit, basically gives the lender the blueprint to how risky you are financially, and if they're going to extend credit to you, ultimately. And as you build that business credit, and if you have good business credit, you know, you can obtain business financing quicker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a little easier if you have a good business credit score, and you can get better repayment terms with your suppliers, and you can protect. You know, if you have good business credit, you can protect your own personal credit. So it is kind of like hand in hand.
Yes, yes.
You have to have it or you have to develop it. One or the other.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you will need that financing to build your business. Whatever it is you may need, you're going to need financing at some point. And it's an awesome thing to have.
That's a good point, because 10% of the population, in terms of the entrepreneurs and business owners, there's only 10% of them who actually know and understand the approach of business credit. Now, we know about consumer credit, which is personal credit. We got Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Okay, so business credit it's a whole different world for different people, and I'm not going to kind of get into the gist of it because it's pretty extensive. I do teach on that, so for those who are interested in finding out more about business credit, I can certainly explain to you through my training program where you can learn about business credit, how viable it is for your business. Because in the beginning, most people, they use their personal, like as I mentioned earlier, I think they said 61% of African American women use their personal, funding, their own money to get their business started, which is good. But at some point, you may need to get some help. And so when you go to the bank to get a PG, which is a personal guaranteed loan, they're going to look at your credit. They're going to look at your personal credit. And if your personal credit is not in order, you're either going to pay a high interest rate or you're not going to be extended. So the way that kind of correlates with business credit, which you alluded to earlier, is the fact that if in fact you do want to have business credit, which Dun & Bradstreet is the leading business credit agency in the world, and they have a different scoring system from the regular traditional consumer scoring system, they're going to ask you, or they're going to look at your personal credit to determine that they're going to allow you to have business credit, which is, as you mentioned before, also is the greatest funding source. So you can't have one without the other. Okay? And so that's why what you explained so eloquently, you certainly have to start with your personal credit to build the transition into the world of business credit. Like I said, that's a whole nother conversation and stuff, but I just wanted to touch base on that.
Well, can I add something, Mr. Murray?
Mm-hmm.
For all, I took Mr. Murray's business course, and it was awesome. And it gave me the understanding that I needed moving forward in business, the importance of having these certain business credit in place. So it was an awesome course, and thank you.
Yes, and congratulations. Because we give a test after the course. We give a test, a 30-questionnaire test, and I'm glad to say that Ms. Pastor did pass the test before I covered. So we do have proof of that. We took pictures and everything. So we appreciate you for doing that and sharing that bit of information. Okay, so now, what are some of your what motivates you to keep going? Like what motivates you to just continuously go down that path or that road of success in the business that you are in right now? What makes you get up in the morning?
Well, through the grace of God, I'm grateful through all adversity and whatever challenges I've had, maintaining my business in business, as we do have. Honestly, I have to keep it transparent. Mm-hmm. I think, knowing that I've made somewhat of a difference, I hire interns. I go to the community and I'll bring in a young person who may need some mentoring, and I'll let them, shadow someone and work beside them, and kind of give them the encouragement of being their own entrepreneur, owning your own business, like planting that seed at a young age, and working amongst other interns, same age group or whatever the case may be. It encourages them to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I think I wanna own my this, I wanna own that. Not necessarily in hospitality, but just kind of letting them know that independence, freedom, the freedom you can get independently, owning your own business if you start very young. That is an awesome thing. So giving back to the community in that sense, and just working with the staff that I have, I always tell them that if you come to me, and this is going to be the stone you step on, I'm going to encourage you to own your own business. I'm going to help you. Even if you're faltering, I'm going to help you get stronger in your belief and in what you know you can attain. So I think at the end of the day, and of course, having satisfied clients, saying, hey, y'all made us feel like we was at home. Those are the things. It may be little some, but to me, those are the memorable moments, and those are the things that I hold dear to my heart, that we are making a difference. I want to make a difference. You know what I mean? I want to make a difference in the business of hospitality and in the people that work around me and work with me, and the people that come into my life who looking for mentorship. I'm making a somewhat of a difference, I see.
Yes. So
that is the jewel that I've received. Monetarily or any other thing is not comparable to that. That's real talk, Mr.
No,
that's from this.
I feel you.
Okay.
I feel you.
That's
I
real
really
talk.
do.
I'm serious. That is what I hold dearly. And when I have days that may not be, maybe challenging or whatever the case may be, I remember at the end of the day, the bigger picture. Think outside those four corners. The bigger picture. What that bigger picture is. And that always pulls me back.
Nice. Well said. And so, who have been some of your greatest influences, whether in life or in business, that really resonate with you? Is there a particular person? Is there an author? Is there a business person? Is there someone that...
My mama.
Oh, okay.
My mother.
Nice.
My mother.
Share with us.
Again, humble beginnings, living in the South Bronx, there's 14 of us, and I take on a lot of responsibilities as a young girl of helping with my siblings.
Yes.
And my mother, I saw through everything, she was always able to sustain through the most insurmountable situations. So I got the strength to get through things because of her. So anything that came my mother's way, Lorene handled it.
Yeah.
Okay? So that made me know that there's absolutely nothing that I can't get over, whatever adversity it is. And there's a multitude of other people in my life. There's so many names, people to name. And also, hey, Mr. Murray, listen, I give credit where it's due. Just the fact that meeting me many years ago, how I had some issues with business and so forth. And you was able to give me the blueprint and explain to me in layman's terms where I could understand how to move forward. and utilize those tools in my own business. So there's quite a few people I admire and have admiration for. Too many to name.
Okay. Well, thank you for putting me in there. I appreciate that. You know, guys, listen, I didn't set her up for that. Okay,
No, he
it
didn't
came
set me
out
up. No,
naturally.
that's
okay?
transparency and the grace of God. Remember we, honor.
Always.
It's always
Always present to God. He's
that
the common
help.
denominator.
Yes, definitely.
At the end of the day.
Definitely.
I agree with you 100% with that. I'm sure most people also agree with that as well. When things get a little bit challenged in your life, I was telling you before, I'm writing my second book. And one of the things I talked to you about is the fact I was going to put something in there that I think would resonate with a lot of people. And I'm not going to say the verse verbatim, but it certainly has something to do with me and that own understanding. All right? And so that's something I think that resonates with just about everyone, or at least it should, in terms of moving forward. That, along with other things that people have in terms of their own belief system. So during your tenure at Saphire, Bartender, and Waitstaff, can you share a company's success story? And guys, again, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Marie Pastor, CEO and founder of Saphire Bartender and Waitstaff. This deserve the credit. So again, give me a success story of your business that really just up until this day makes you just smile and say, "Wow, that was quite an event. This really worked out pretty well." Just in brief, can you tell us a little quick story? I know you have many. Pick one out.
I think one of the most successful stories that I have, that actually one of them recently happened. I worked with a young lady for many years, and I always say, when you do something, sometimes you may not be compensated monetarily for it, but you have to think outside the box. Yes, you have to think business sense, but think outside of the box at times. What other opportunities may be afforded to me in my company if I do this, even if I'm not getting monetarily compensated? That's a big deal, But I worked with this young lady who worked with the company, a very prominent company, for many, many years. And one day, I had expressed to her that I was building another business in a different genre of like cleaning service, and had nothing to do with my present business. And I mentioned that a few years ago to her, and I said, I'm going to build that one day. And I began to slowly put it together. And she called me one day, and she was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Okay, I'm working with a few things right now." And she said, "Hey, I want to talk to you. Come, I want you to meet some people." So make a long story short, I'm a little long-winded, but make a long story short, she introduced me to a circle of very powerful people, very prominent people. And in the ending of this conversation of introducing me to this person, how successful this person was and how successful this person was, she had me in the middle of them, and she goes, "And I want to introduce you now to this young lady." And I'm like, "Oh, wow, these are awesome people." And she says, "I'm going to tell you why I feel she's successful." And in that moment, she brought up what I had done over the years and why now it is absolutely nothing she wouldn't do to help me and my company excel to another level or just open doors for me. And I was so overwhelmed that she opened the door for another aspect of my business just because I was able to understand that financially she couldn't afford certain things, but I was still able to help her attain what she needed to. So it was like you gave me favor. So now your blessings is coming back to you.
Wow.
Because I'm in a position now 10 years later to open the door for you.
Isn't that something?
So I just think that however you move in business, when you move in only money, and yes, business, money, it's all together.
Yes.
But when you only move a certain way, you kind of like just lock yourself into being received one way.
Okay.
I think you should look at things outside of the box all the time, and that's what I tell my staff. Let's look at things outside of the box. What other opportunities may be afforded to you, even if you're not going to get the money, the monetary reward you thought you were going to get. Let's start doing that more so.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting because what I'm hearing that you're telling me is that sometimes when you do things from the heart or to help someone, or just because in the moment of time you felt that the monetary aspect was not the primary motive, that when you move in that direction in an altruistic way, the byproduct, the end results will come in your favor at some given point in time. Now, you don't know when it's going to come, but you best believe it's going to come. And it's funny because, like, if you just do it naturally, just because that's who you are, you're going to get it. Or whether or not, you do because you know it's going to happen, that's fine too. But I think the most important aspect of it is the fact that you did it simply because that's what you felt that you wanted to do. And again, as years went on, it just came back around and you were able to.
Yeah, I didn't have any expectations of anything.
Yeah.
I just knew that it's what I would want someone to do for me, and moving forward.
Beautiful.
You know.
Well, listen, I'm having fun here. I'm really learning a lot more about you, and audience members also are learning from you as well, and that's why I have you here, because you have a very good track record, being very professional, a very fair person, a God-fearing person, of course, as well. And plus, you have a lot of sagacity. You have good judgment, good wisdom in what you do, and that is what a lot of people need, particularly in business. And I think also, matter of fact, I know emphatically that oftentimes when people start businesses off, they don't have a mentor. They are not fully prepared in terms of the capital, money and the funding that is needed to move forward, and that is why they fall within a 2.5 year period of time. And so it is very, very important I believe, to do your diligence in your business, to have a mentor who's willing to help you and guide you.
Absolutely.
I also believe in reading books that will help inspire you, personal development books, or books in your profession. And last but certainly not least, giving thanks to God. Okay? Because again, He's the common denominator, and so without Him, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure you agree, and I'm sure most people agree too, that you would probably would not excel in life as much as you normally would, because people are doing worse than you are. So would it not make sense to give them blessings and praise to help that they get out of their situation that they are, even though you don't know them, but also having gratitude for the fact that you woke up this morning and you're not somewhere in another place, space and time where people are having challenges who can't even get a bite to eat, much less be able to walk, much less be able to breathe in particular pandemic. So I think to me, and I'm sure to you, audience members as well, that is a very, very paramount that we
absolutely
sustain that type of mindset.
Absolutely. Always stay humble. Always know that, I just believe nothing is coincidental. Everything that's supposed to happen, everything that did happen, had to happen. And through your journey, you will have a testimony. And at the end of the day, whatever struggles you've had to get to where you are, just know and never forget that there's always someone that you can give a hand to, because someone gave you a hand.
Yes.
Someone helped pull you up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So always be open to giving a hand. When we, I think that we need to get a little bit better. I don't want to, get off the subject, but I think as business owners, business owners of color, black business owners, we have to really remember that sometimes, no matter how successful you are, always reach back and pull somebody, because somebody pulled you.
Mhm.
Give a hand to someone.
Mhm.
Give them information that can help them do the research. If you don't want to necessarily say, oh, this is the blueprint and this is everything you have to do, you're not going to do that. But you're going to say, hey, let me help you out.
Yes. Yes.
Read this.
Yes.
Or let me give you this jewelry.
Mhm. Mhm.
Or do this.
Mhm.
Give them the direction
Yes.
to help better themselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's a
And
very good
do
point.
that from the heart.
Yes.
Do it. Always carry that with you.
Mhm.
Because true, whether you believe it or not, no one has become successful by themselves. It was either team, it was somebody behind you or above you that helped you get where you are.
Mhm.
And you must never forget that. You'll go far with just that little jewel. Never forget.
Mhm.
And always pay it forward, because it'll come back tenfold. That's my, this is me. I'm saying this to her.
I think that what you're saying resonates with a lot of people out there, because you have some people, sometimes, unfortunately, that are successful, and you ask them certain questions, they're very disingenuous. You know,
Mhm.
they really know the answer, but they just don't really want to share it with you.
True.
So what do? You get back on your goal and your aspirations, and stay the course. Stay the course.
Stay the course.
Because eventually you will meet someone who will be able to, and unknowingly, I mean, you could be walking down the street. You know,
That's right.
you can be in this Barista Cafe, the incredible cafe that serves an incredible breakfast in Spanish Harlem. You may run into somebody that intentionally or unintentionally not meeting them, and they may lead you into the right direction. So it can happen any given time, any given space, or any given circumstances. So you never know, huh?
You never know. You always gotta be prepared.
Yes.
Always be
yes,
prepared.
yes.
So you don't have to get ready.
Okay.
Always be prepared. So you don't have to
Stay
get
ready.
ready.
Stay ready to that, so you don't have to get ready.
And there used to be a bookstore here in Harlem. It's no longer there. Human Bookstore.
I remember that.
And I used to go there for all these book signings and
Yes.
stuff.
Mhm.
And one day they had this multimillionaire author. I don't remember who he was, but he was definitely someone very profound. Not because he was a multimillionaire, but because he came from humble beginnings. And I went to Human Bookstore by myself, and I went in there and I saw everyone in there, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. Everybody looked so successful,
Mhm.
and I was new in the game, so I was very fragile. And I walked up in there and went in the ladies' room and stayed in the ladies' room because I was so intimidated.
Oh, really? Oh
this
my
was
God.
real. This is years and years ago. I was new.
Oh, you nowhere like that now. You're nowhere like that.
And I went in there and something said, girl, you better get out of that bathroom and go sit in the front. And I went and sat right in the front, right up under him.
Nice.
And everything he said resonated and it touched my spirit. Because I was struggling in business. I hadn't been in business a year. This is about 20-something years ago. And after everything was over with, I said, sir, can I ask you a question? And he said, sure. He said, what's going on with you? You have a business? I said, no, I don't have a business. I'm new. I'm blue, you know. I said, but I'm trying to develop and I'm just going through so many struggles. And this, he said, you know what? You're in the right place. He said, are you uncomfortable? I said, yes, I am. He said, you're supposed to be uncomfortable. He said, and guess what? Always stay prepared. Always stay prepared. He said, where you are is where you're supposed to be. And you're going to be someone, you're going to make a difference one day. He said, be prepared. He said, I came from where you came from. And he told me his story. And I was encouraged. I walked up out of there like, I won the lottery.
You floated out of there. You didn't walk out of there. You were floating out of there. You levitated with that knowledge.
It was just an experience I'll never ever forget. I never.
That's wonderful.
I'll
That's
never
wonderful.
forget.
Well, I tell you what, I've had a great time, and
Yes.
again, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Bartender Cafe in Spanish Harlem. Just an incredible venue, great breakfast, great lunch menus as well, coffees out of sight, by the way. And I also like to again thank Black Streaming Live
Yes,
for
thank you,
supporting
Black
us and what we're doing in terms of our streaming efforts, and also the Powerful Pioneer Organization, which is an organization that has a plethora of business resources, sort of a network of resources within the community to help business owners to support each other, to network with each other, and to be able to sell products and services within the community. Because from what we believe truly is the fact that if you are able to galvanize together as a community and like Black Wall Street, okay, and I know it sounds cliche, but it's a reality. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the 1920s, Black Wall Street had a metropolis of Black-owned businesses that were able to sell their own products within their own community. So therefore, the dollar circulated for about 3 years in that community. Fast forward, based on NAACP findings, the dollar in that community only circulates over 6 hours and it hemorrhages out to other parts of the state. So we really want to keep that in mind. That could be a turning point in all our lives, especially as entrepreneurs. Really consider that, really take that in deeply, because one day we're going to definitely touch more into that subject. But in closing, I want to thank you so much. Oh, by the way, are you hiring?
Yes.
Please tell them how they can contact you for those who are out there looking to get involved in the hospitality business.
Yes, if anyone is interested in being on a great team of Sapphire's Bartending and Waitstaff-Expert, we can be reached via email, which is a Lady Saphire, Lady and then SAPHIRE1P88@yahoo.com. We have an Instagram page, Sapphire's Bartending and Waitstaff, and we're presently working on some other ways to communicate. So presently, via email, if you're interested, via email. We are presently hiring servers, bartenders. So anyone that's certified bartender, and anyone that has a server's food handler's certification, we're hiring at this present time.
Beautiful.
So,
a lot of folks are going to love to hear that, you know?
Yes, and also, this though particularly is not the Harlem area, but we have service in the Brooklyn area for cleaners. Anyone who, at night and evening want to take on 3-hour, 4-hour job of cleaning after party events. We do that as well.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Again, my name is Murray Allen with MCE Credit Empowerment. This is Sisters Deserve the Credit, okay, with our incredible and illustrious guest, which is Marie, pastor of Saphire Bartender and Waitstaff. You guys can contact me at 1-888-317-1702 if you have any questions, or if you want to share information in terms of maybe a resume that you have. I can certainly pass it on to you, pastor. Again, you can reach me at 1-888-317-1702. And I really appreciate you being here. We've learned a lot from you. You're doing some incredible things in the community, and the best is yet to be. And you've been over a lot of adversities in your life, and you've proven to us that you are a rock. You are a rock, and based on your support system with your family and your staff, of course, which is like a second family, or family as it were, you've been able to help them out, I'm sure, through their hardship and their adversity in life as well. But what I want to do, I'd like to give you a present here. This is something that has been created by a company called Millennial Z Alpha. It's an incredible company that creates a lot of apparel, a lot of t-shirts that have a lot of meanings, Guys, you gotta go to the website. Again, it's Millennial Z Alpha. Okay, they specialize in a lot of very unique apparel. You gotta go to the website. I want to give this to you, Marie Pastor of Saphire, Bartender, and the Waitress. This is how's that?
Oh man.
Right? That's for you.
Oh,
Okay?
man.
Support Black brand. Millennial Z Alpha.
Oh, right, Mr.
for
Murray, you the best. Oh, this is awesome.
That's right. We support.
Support Black brands.
That's right. We support. Guys, thank you.
Millennial Z Alpha.
That's right. Remember that name, and remember the name also.
Thank
the
you.
pastor of, again, Saphire, Bartender, and Waitstaff. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate what
Thank
you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. We
Thank
support you, and we know that in time we want to have you back, where you can share some more incredible stories and incredible journey that you're going through right now. We appreciate you. So, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you
For your time. If you want to be able to see this again, for those who want to pass it on to other people, this incredible interview with the pastor, we're going to be on tonight. Okay, we're going to be on tonight at 8 o'clock at Black Stream Live tonight. Okay, and we want to make sure that you guys are able to see what you may have missed. So tonight, we're going to reach out to folks today, to let them know that they can actually see this interview today or tonight at 8:30, okay, Eastern Central Time, so you can get to see the whole interview. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. God bless. Thank you so much. Guys, you have yourself a good day.
All right, good day. Thank you, Mr. Murray.
You're welcome. You're welcome.